Alright, I remembered to do another video on my favorite strains that I have in the fish room. This video would be a lot better if I had done it about a month ago, because the oldest of the black lace snakeskins, as I call them, are starting to crap out. You can kind of see that the dorsal hasn't changed on some of the males. It's like the glass is interfering with the camera being able to pick them up. You can see it on this one. The dorsal is still long, but the tail is kind of shrinking up. It's probably getting nipped, and they're just old, and that's kind of what happens. So it's another kind of good thing to show with some of the fish, so you can see that what's going to happen as they get really old. These are a year and a half to 2 years old, the larger males. And that's a younger male, which I put in there so you could just now I can't find him. Son of a gun. There ain't he somewhere. Alright, I got other ones I can show, but anyway, this is one of my favorite strains because it's something I came up with on my own, and I'll move to the other tanks. I actually have a bunch of 10-gallon tanks now of these, but I put a bunch of them for this video in the smaller tanks so you can actually see them. Now this one's going to probably get cold because he's starting to develop some red spots at the very bottom of the tail, and I really don't mind that, except I want to keep this as a black line. Now these, you see some albinos. Probably about 7 months ago I did the videos on them, and there's a male in there somewhere. There he is. And that's how they ended up turning out, the albinos, which came from the black snakeskins. And they are throwing some mostly black, but a few albinos. That's an albino female that came out of one of the recent batches, and most of the males are looking like this one. Now you can, if he stays still, which he's not, you can still see there's a snakeskin pattern on them, and there is also on the albinos, but it's harder to see. And oddly, some of the females get a very long dorsal, for, you know, good sized dorsal, not very long, but very cool. I really like these, and that one's really kind of crapping out, and so is that one, but that one's going to get pulled out because the red, I don't want to cause any problems with this line. It's really enjoyable because it's been breeding true, which is great, except I'm not getting too many albinos. And this is another batch of them, and you can see I got one other one here that's got a little bit of red, so he's going to be coming out. Now these are in just a photo tank, and they're getting moved into a 10-gallon tank down in the fish room. But the other one out of this batch, there was one albino, which is very cool. So I'm still getting some albinos, but it's not a true breeding albino. So that's something I'm going to work on, but I'm more interested in the black lace snakeskins anyway. So when does a joke become a dad joke? When the punchline is apparent. When the punchline is apparent. That's from Larry B. Larry, I like that. Thank you. And if you needed some more torture, what the bees do if they need a ride. They wait at the buzz stop. The buzz stop. That's awful. Oh, God, that's terrible. Alright, so anyway, that's some awful jokes. But cool fish. So, now this black section in the middle of the body would really prevent them from being called an actual snakeskin. You would think from looking at it, because it's got to be, snakeskin is a term for IFGA strain, and it's got to have 60% of the body with a snakeskin pattern. But what happens as these get older, and I don't think I can show that on the older male. Let me see if I can. Boy, I digress even while I'm digressing. Not even sure if that's possible. But as you can see, the snakeskin pattern starts to overtake the black body marking. So to me, I see a snakeskin pattern over the black. I don't know. None of these are nice enough to ever go into a show anyway, so it doesn't matter. But they do get big enough to enter in shows. Now see if I can get it on this one on there to kind of prove my point. He's in the part of the glass where you can't, where the lens gets screwed up. This is a very thick tank that I used to use as a photo tank, but it magnifies, which I'm trying to get one of the males on there so you can see what the heck I'm talking about. But there you can see the snakeskin pattern grows over the black marking. That's female, so you really can't see that. Where the heck did you go? Alright, well this is not turning out the way I expected. Okay, one more shot and then I'll move on to some of the other ones. I think on that one, for just a brief couple seconds, you could see the snakeskin pattern goes over the black body marking. So it's interesting. I mean, these are very cool fish. I say that because I really like them, and it's actually pretty close to what I was after when I started the cross. So I'm really happy about that as well. And the only thing that took a while was for the male's dorsal to grow. It seemed like the body, the color, the tail, and the pattern all grew in, and they had a very short dorsal. See if I can show you on this one. And then what happened was the dorsal started to grow kind of exponentially after a few months. You can see it's pretty small dorsal right there. And then it started to grow. Same on this one. But it ends up getting a very long, very nice dorsal. See if his knucklehead will stay there so you can see him. Of course not. Alright. This is one other batch that I recently moved. They're in a photo tank right now. They're going into a 10-gallon tank in about an hour. And if I can find them, there are albinos in this one. And that is a batch from one of the black females. And you can see that that one's a male. So what's going to end up happening is the darker ones are going to go into, the black-eyed ones are going into their own 10-gallon tank. And all of the albinos, which I think is only one male and about 5 females, are going to go into a 5.5. That's going to be a male too, that one right there. You can see the pattern starting on the back of the body. Hey, that was pretty nice of them to stand still, or swim still. Why do I always do that? So that'll be a male too, so I'll end up with 2 trios of albinos out of this batch. Very cool, except now I see a third one. Alright, so that's 3 males. And I forget how many females. Did I say 3 males? I don't know. I'm losing my mind. All the snow. And after all that snow here, we had another storm, I think on Saturday or whatever the heck day it was. And ended up being 56 degrees yesterday. Pretty unbelievable. So anyway, that's how these things develop. I'm sorry I don't have nicer looking older ones yet. That's kind of some of them anyway. But they kind of look good from the get-go. The snakeskin pattern starts to grow in at about 10 weeks. And once I finally can sell some fish, I'll probably sell some of these on Aquabid. Not too many, just some. Because nobody else has them, because I came up with them, as I've said before. And try to get them around in case I lose them. At least other people will have them, and they'll be out in the hobby. Yeah, assuming people like them. I think people do. Some people. And that's kind of it. So that's the second part of the, it's probably going to be 6 videos of my favorite strains. And I'll leave you with one last joke. Where did the king keep his armies? Up his sleeveys. I told that joke before, but I love it. It's terrible, but I like it. That's how bad I am. So anyway, if you have any questions or whatever, you want to tell me the jokes stink or whatever, you can leave it in the comments or you can send me an email. I put the email address in the video description in all the videos in the last few months. And if you want to make any recommendations for some future videos, there's going to be probably 4 more of my favorite strains, and then I'll start doing some other stuff. So you can leave that in the comments or email me. I appreciate it. If you have any other questions that you want answered other than secrets of life, just let me know. Alright, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And this guy's doing some kind of a dance, which is kind of cool. So I'll leave it on here another minute. So it's kind of cool. They, at least they're not like the Tiger King cobras like the last video where they just hide at the bottom of the tank. These fish are always out. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back with another video in a couple of days.